Hello, this is Douglas Block. What is going on here? This is Douglas Block, author, depression counselor, depression survivor. Welcome to your chat today on, what is today? The 21st of January. And here we are, almost through the end of January. Wow, this has been a really incredible, fast beginning of the new year. I had a little, hey, Mike Levitt. Sorry, I had a little difficult time getting started. A little bit of technical difficulties, but here we are on the air and doing well. How's the sound, Mike? Pretty good? Yeah, well, shoot away, Mike. Hopefully we'll have some other people here pretty soon and we'll be able to ask questions and see what's going on. Well, as I said, it's the beginning of January and we're waiting for, it's not the beginning of January, it's towards the end of January. And the year has gone incredibly quickly and so far, so good. I mean, there's been a lot of sickness here in Portland, and it's kind of been tough. But here we are. Sounds good. Okay, let's wait for some other people to come on. Trying to get a hold of here to see how we can find out how many people are watching. Not quite sure. Oh, there we are. 8 people. Cool. All right. Well, as you know, I answer questions anytime about all things related to mental health recovery and to mental health in general, drugs, psychiatrists, psychologists, TMS, ECT, you name it, everything is fair game. Hey, Dave Pickell, my friend from British Columbia, Vancouver, BC. Nice to see you. How's it doing? Are you getting out of bed any easier? Feeling any better? Did you get a notification that we were on the air? I hope you did. Anyway, we are on the air, and I thought I would start by telling you about the last video I did, which is the effect of physical illness on the depressed mind. A lot of people around here in Portland have gotten sick lately, and it definitely affects their moods, brings them lower, makes them more pessimistic about the future. And yeah, you know, it's tough when you're depressed and you're also ill. Let me check here. Did either of you guys get any notifications about this? I'm trying to see if I did. I don't think I did, so interesting. Oh, no, live now. We did get a notification. Cool. All right, so always a slow start to these live chats. What can I tell you? I was saying that when people get physically ill, their mood plummets, they get more pessimistic, and that's tough because you're already pessimistic enough when you're depressed. So, you know, you have to tell yourself 3 things. One is this too shall pass. 2, you know, it's acute, it's time limited, and when I feel better physically, I'll feel better emotionally. Hello, Patty Brady. Hey, Doug, got an email and an app notification. Webb Smith, I don't think I've ever seen you on the live chat before. Where are you from? What country? What state? Patty, nice to hear from you from the UK. Mike Levitt, the flu is definitely going around all over the country. I'm in southern the United States, and people are sick here. I've never seen anything like it. I had my, oh, you're in southern Utah, huh? Lots of people sick here too. Yeah, well, you know, I had a gal who's my faithful assistant scheduled to come on Saturday morning, help me out the last minute. She called, she got sick. She never gets sick. So if this woman gets sick, the flu is bad. Musta UV, hi Doug, I'm from Iraq. How to overcome solipsism? Well, I used to know what solipsism is. I think it's a false kind of argument. You tell me. I feel like it's gotten easier since yesterday. I'm fighting the scary aloneness by mainly communicating with people online. Hey, that's interesting you mentioned that, Dave Pickell, because tomorrow morning, Monday, the 22nd of January, I'm coming out with a new video called The World is My Family. It talks all about how by fate, I was never allowed to raise, you know, a family with wife and 2 kids and the white picket fence, etc. So instead, my family, quote unquote, my family has become my YouTube fans, people who read my books, people who go to my website, my clients, the whole community that I am, interacting with in terms of my mental health ministry. Speaking of mental health ministry, I do always like to let people know about my Patreon account. Dave has been a very, very kind subscriber to Patreon. It allows me to have monthly income, so I can go ahead and make these videos, pay the people, edit them, and shoot them. So here is the address. It's patreon.com/Douglas Bloch. If you click on that link or go to that page, you'll be able to see how you can become a sustaining member of this channel for as little as $2 a month. Web Smith, you're from Northern Ireland. Patty Brady is from Ireland, I believe. William Johnston, haven't seen you before. I'm in Scotland. Wow, look at all these 3 people from the UK already. I split up with a girl and can't get her out of my mind for months, and depression is getting worse. Can't seem to help. Can't even get out of my bed. Help. Okay, so William Johnston, if you write to me, douglasbloch@gmail.com, right there, douglasbloch@gmail.com, I will send you a link to my video called The #1 Cause of Depression, which is breaking up, divorce, etc. So you can get some validation. You're not alone. All 4 of my depressive episodes were triggered by loss of connection, and so separation is a huge problem for all human beings, and it often triggers people into a depressive episode. What I would suggest you do is try to get yourself out of bed. Make an appointment with a counselor, make an appointment with a prescriber, but have a friend come over and help you get out of bed. You need to basically get out, and I have a video called I'd rather be depressed and walking around than lying in bed doing nothing. If somebody can even drive you to the gym, or you can even work out on a treadmill for even 20 minutes or even walk around the block. But yes, you have my complete empathy. Breaking up rips the heart apart, and when people are prone to depression, it thrusts them right into an episode, which is what you've got. So, but you can get out of it. I got out of it. There is treatment, there is help, and I'm glad you're reaching out. Maybe you can connect with some of the people on this live chat who are from the UK, and you guys can start like a email support or a text support group, so you can realize you're not alone. Thanks, Doug. That's amazing. I'm not quite sure what's amazing, Dave, but anyway. Since my wife left, I've been building a new family. My daughters are pretty, I think independent. I can't quite read this. They're pretty remote, so I lean on others. Good. Mike Levitt, William, hang in there, man. You're going through grief. Heartbreak is the worst. Same here. Yeah. So can you hear that, William Johnston? Dave Piquel had his wife, and he split up. And I love what Mike Levitt said in there. You're going through grief. Heartbreak is the worst. That's why I called the #1 cause of depression. So, I have a woman who in my support group who's going through a really bad divorce. She's brokenhearted. She went to my therapist. He said, there's not much I can do, but I can tell you this. The one thing that will help you and cure you is time. Time heals. I know it's a cliche, but a woman who I broke up with in 1983, I never thought I could live without. It's 34 years later, and the pain is essentially gone. Adrian Cardillo, hey, thanks for leaving your live chat donation, your super chat donation, right here by the little S. Anybody who clicks on this and gives $1 or $2 will help to, again, sustain this channel. Doesn't seem like much, but it all adds up. Can you explain the theory of depression being anger turned inwards? Adrian Cardillo, you are a psychic. I am just working on a video called Is Depression Anger Turned Inwards? So yes, oftentimes people put themselves down, beat themselves up, say they're a piece of crap because, the anger that they have about their situation or what's going on, they turn it towards themselves. So that is not a helpful thing to do. What you need to do is take that anger and get it out, go to the gym, hit a punching bag, run around the block. If you're angry at somebody else, then you need to say that in a healthy way. There's being passive, there's being aggressive, and there's being assertive. So when you're assertive with someone, you say, hey, you stepped on my foot. Could you please get off it? It hurts. Being aggressive is punching them in the face. Being passive is saying nothing. So yes, oftentimes when people turn anger in on themselves, they get depressed, but that is not the only cause of depression. There are so many other reasons people get depressed. Heartbreak, biochemical imbalance, trauma, exposure to natural disaster, war, you name it. But yes, when people turn anger in on themselves, it makes depression worse. Adrian, start looking out for the video. Another title I have is how a depressed person can express anger in a healthy way. But yes, I am addressing this very issue in a couple of weeks. Web Smith, same here, mate. Struggled to get out of bed until 11 in the morning. Well, it's now 8 p.m. your time, so you made it. Tyler Duran, hey, one of my favorite live chat people. I hate working at one side. I'd rather have a sex change than to be thrown. Got to read your thing. Be thrown into the military somewhere. Well, is that happening to you, Tyler? Are you thrust into the military? I think you're in the United States. I know. It's tough. When I took what's called a vocational interest inventory, Air Force pilot, out of a 1 to 100, I got a -10. So I'm not exactly military material myself, although I've met a lot of people from the military. I have a lot of respect for them. They're very brave, and the military has a really, really good code of conduct, which most people follow. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for people in the military. It's just not for me. Arcade Cup, hey, from Green Bay, Wisconsin, where it's probably freezing. My sleeping is messed up again, staying up till 5:30 now and getting up at 1 p.m. Wow. That's probably not the best thing. See if you can start taking some melatonin early in the day and about 3 p.m. and that will help you get to sleep on time. Or exercise like I did yesterday. Go on a 25-mile bike ride. You'll be exhausted and you'll go to sleep earlier. IJE1JE24. Hello, mate. Hey, every time they say mate, I think they're from the UK. So we've got 1JE24. We've got Patty Brady, we've got William Johnston, we've got Webb Smith. We've got 4 people at least here from the UK. Hey, go ahead and start giving each other your phone numbers and texting each other, or create some sort of a UK support group online. That would be great. Arcade Cup, I have that. Okay, yeah, start taking melatonin in the afternoon. Are you guys ready for a joke? The flu has been going around. It's been really bad in America. And have you ever heard bird flu and swine flu? They're both very, very deadly. What's the difference? Well, here it is right here. One requires treatment and the other requires ointment. One requires treatment and the other requires ointment. What do you think of that picture? Pigs are really quite intelligent. It's really a shame the way we abuse them in factory farming. Don't get me started on this one, but I'm really into animal rights and protecting innocent animals from abuse in the way they're raised commercially. Arcade Cup, I stay up till 4 a.m., wake up at 11. I'm retired and I was a musician, so musician hours, but I don't think this is ideal. It just makes me feel more separated from other people. Arcade Cup says, I never knew melatonin was taken that early. I guess it sets you up for the evening. Yes, that's true. The major researcher here in Portland, Oregon, Albert Lowry, from Oregon Health Sciences University, also known as Pill Hill, told me that years ago, that you want to basically reset your circadian rhythms so you go to sleep. You have what's called, and Dave Pickell has something called delayed sleep phase syndrome. Let me say that again, delayed sleep phase syndrome. It means just what it sounds like. You go to bed later than everybody else and wake up later. And melatonin helps reset your biological clock. Also, it's winter. I suggest using a light box. I'm going to make a note to have my light book right here next to me to show people. Since it's the winter months in the Northern Hemisphere, I want you to take a look at it. I want you to get something like that yourself. It's very, very useful to be able to have artificial light, a light box to help you reset your biological clock. So try doing that, getting a light box and also taking melatonin. LOL, I was just making a random comment in the hopes of advanced sense of humor. Emphasis on random. I'm not going to the military. I know you're not going to the military, Tyler. I just, but I thought I'd address it anyway. Jeff DeLaha. Jeff is now a Patreon member. He joined Patreon a couple of weeks ago. I sent him a free copy of my ebook, or I think I did. If I didn't, I'll send you. You're so funny. I've got puns to help people if they need it. IJE24, I am ready for a pun. Anytime you are, I love puns. They're very punny, don't you think? So it's 1JE. How did you get that YouTube name anyway? I'm ready for a pun from 1JE. So again, for the newcomers, what's the difference between bird flu and swine flu? One requires ointment and the other requires treatment. Enough of those puns. But give me 1J24. I appreciate it. Greg Scoop has helped me. There's 6 of us. Wow. Where is Greg Sanders when we need him? He's really organized 6 people to be in an online support group. Wow, he is phenomenal. I've got his phone number in Philadelphia. I'm going to give him a call. He's a very, very cool person. Also, a sustaining member of Patreon. So, ready for more questions? Thank you all for being here. We're 15 minutes into the hour. It is January 21st, Sunday. It looks like it's windy and maybe rainy in Portland. I did a really nice bike ride. I had a bike crash last Sunday right after the group, I have to tell you. I thought it was only going to cost $150. It's going to cost $410 to repair my bike. So send in your bike repair money to P.O. Box 1562. I'm kidding. I got fired from my job as an electrician, which was a shock. Wow. That's amazing. Come again, 1GE24. I'm going to use that with my group. I'm ready for another pun from you. What did the electrician say when he got fired unexpectedly from his job? It was a shock. How is that? A nice way of retelling the same joke. It'll be on one of my next videos, 1GE24, and I'm going to give you credit. Although nobody will know who the heck that is. Dave Pickell says, hello, Greg. Greg's not on this live chat right now, so if he is, you can say hello to him. So, yes, let's talk about divorce. Let's talk about breakup. From the man earlier who said he couldn't get out of bed since he broke up with his girlfriend, couldn't stop thinking about her. That is really, really hard. But in this new video coming out tomorrow morning called The World Is My Family, I had the same thing happen not 1, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. I live with my ex-wife named Joan. She's a sweetheart. I dedicated a special video to her on Christmas Day. It's called A Christmas Gift That Changed My Life. I hope you look at it. It is a beautiful, beautiful video. And I hope to do a video with her and my cat Bruce and post it sometime this week. But yeah, it's really tough, a breakup. And Neil Sedaka said breaking up is hard to do, but time does heal. And as I said earlier, the world has become my family, my YouTube fans, my clients, the people who write me. So like Dave Pickell said, you can lean on other people, friends, people who you meet in support groups, therapists, church community. There are other sources of support besides your spouse, although, that's obviously a major source of support. So if you get divorced, if you break up, don't despair. You can still find connections with other people. Mike Bordner, hello, Doug. Mike and I are going to have a little chat at 1:15 my time. One of my most faithful clients has come a long way since we first talked. He was in between. It was actually taking a leave of absence from work. He's back at work, functioning well. Coaching, reading my book, antidepressants, everything works together. Tyler Durden, I wish I had $1 million times that by 1,000. I'd be happy. Well, they do surveys of people who won the lottery, and 1 year later they're no happier than before they won the lottery. So money can be good. It can take the pressure off, but it alone is not the key to happiness. But, I wish you $1 million myself. Arcade Cup, Dave Pickell, yes, it totally makes me feel the same way about sleep. The detachment society, it makes, for me, it comes from old behaviors. Nightclub attending and parties. That stopped in 2002, thank God. All right, IJ24, Mars bars, they're out of this world, aren't they? In a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, I like the electrician, the shock better, but buy a new bike? Are you kidding me? I have an old bike in the basement I've been riding the last week. It's also Roubaix. You wouldn't want to know how much I paid for the first bike. Over many thousands of dollars. I used to be seriously biking. I would do centuries, 100-mile rides a couple times a year. I'd ride 5 times a week. This was a premier bike I bought. So no, I'm not going to sell it. The $400 is more than worth it, but I think I'm going to hold off and ride my other bike for a while. 1 million times 1,000 equals 1 billion. Hey, excellent, 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 Tyler. I should tell that to my math students. William Johnston, I'm not, Amiprapine doesn't seem to help, but not long story taking them. Well, I think you're talking about Amiprapine or Tofranil. It's an old antidepressant. Give it 4 to 6 weeks. Arcade Cup, thank you for your dollar contribution. I can always count on you. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, Impermine is the first antidepressant ever created. Did you know that, William Johnston? And most people use Prozac, Zoloft, Celexa, Lexapro, Effexor, but Imipramine in test studies it does just as well. Shiki Jadi, probably from the Middle East. Hi, Doug. I've been helping a friend who's been depressed for the past 2 or 3 months. Thank God I stumbled on your YouTube channel. Your videos are amazing and really helpful. Thanks. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't, Shiki, is that how you pronounce your name? But anyway, no, I appreciate it. A lot of people write me telling me my YouTube videos have been helpful. Again, hate to sound like an advertisement, but if you want us to help me make more, just go to patreon.com and you can become, you can contribute to this channel. But anyway, you know, I'm doing this out of love, obviously. But yes, I'm really glad that the videos that on my channel are helping your friend. You know, let's thank the universe for that. 1J24 had to break up with my girlfriend remote. She was just too controlling. She did something. Oh, she was a waitress, yet ironically she brought nothing to the table. Wow. These are good. These are good. Why don't you, I'll tell you what, I'll send you 20 cents for every good joke you give me. Joking, of course, but no, thank you so much. Okay, so here's a joke. 1J24, you're like, I wonder why the ball was getting bigger. And then it hit me. What do you think of that? Arcade Cup says, I'm going to get a light box, exercise today to wear myself out, hopefully be in bed by 5:30 a.m. No, you're joking here. Going to be in bed by 2 instead of 5:30. Okay, yes, I think that's an improvement. If you're going to bed at 5:30 a.m. every morning and you go to bed at 2, that's progress. Arcade Cup, you know me, you know my phone number, you know my email address. Let me know how you're doing. Gonna have some of my protein drink. It gets difficult talking for an hour straight. Innocent Millicent, that is great to go to sleep. And the F from Ireland, another UK person. We've got at least 6 of them here. Thank you so much. You know what I like to say also? All will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. That's a prayer from a Benedictine monk around the 13th century. Let me say it again when you're trying to get to sleep. All will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things shall be well. So, one Clara Lou, LOL, thousands, that's a mad amount of money for a bike. I cycle too. In the middle of a breakdown, my bike was 700 pounds. Well, yeah, but not at the moment you're in the middle of a breakdown. So hey, wait, Clara Lulu, what's happening? What caused your breakdown, and what are you doing about it? We're here to help. This whole channel, this whole live chat is here to help other people and to connect with each other. You know, community, we're stronger together than we are apart. So let us know, or send me an email. DouglasBlock@gmail.com. Let me know what caused your breakdown and what you're doing. Why did the witch not wear a flat hat? Because there was no point in it. Wow, you guys are amazing. Thank God these things are going to be saved. I'm going to print them all out. And as I say, I'll send you each 20 cents. But again, so Clara Lou, what happened to you to cause your breakdown, and what are you doing about it? I'm really serious. And I agree, thousands of dollars is a lot to pay for a bike. But, you know, I've never bought a new car. I've never gone on, I don't go on trips. I basically don't spend any money on new clothes. So, you know, once in a lifetime, I'm 68, you got to splurge on something. Besides, it's exercise. You know what exercise does? It grows new brain cells. It makes you smart. Takes away depression. You know, I'm 68. I feel like my cognitive ability is just as good as it was when I was 28. I'm not kidding. My memory is still good. I shouldn't say this because pride goes before the fall. But I think that exercise has really helped me to stay young and feel young and help to keep away the symptoms of depression. So even if you spend a couple of $1,000s, you know how much money I've spent on therapy? How about $100,000? What is that? What's 50 to 100,000? Someone help me. 2,000 a year? Not even close. How about $300,000 I spent on therapy? So, you know, a $4,000 bike is a bargain. 1J24, you're funny, but here's another jokey pun. I had to leave my job as a taxi counselor. I didn't like people talking behind my back. Not bad, not bad. I like one Claire Lou's joke. There was no point to it, but yes, you're right. People have to know that people in the cab sit in back seats. All right, another joke. Here comes one from Joel Osteen, the minister. Where's Danielle Kate, by the way? She's always here, from Houston, Texas. So, an elderly woman is in a parking lot outside a grocery store. Her car breaks down. It doesn't break down. Excuse me, she locks her keys in her car. That's right, and she can't get in. So someone gives her a coat hanger, says, lady, try this. She's futzing around trying to use a coat hanger to undo the lock. She can't do it. So she says, Lord, please, someone to help me out to get into my car. I'm locked out. At that second, a man in a motorcycle drives up. He's in black leather. He's rough-hewn. He has a skull cap. He doesn't, he kind of looks a little scary. He says, man, let me try it. 15 seconds later, the car door is open. She says, thank you, Lord, for sending me such a nice man to open my car. He says, lady, I'm not a nice man. I just got out of prison for car theft. She says, thank you, Lord. You even sent a professional. What do you think? One Claire, I sent you an email for Christmas, but I didn't get a reply. One Claire, I deeply apologize. I get dozens of emails every day now. We're having 53,000 people a month for 260,000 minutes on my channel. You know how many people that is? That's like 750,000 people a year watching my channel. So the amount of emails I get inundated with, I can't really afford to hire a full-time secretary. So please send me one again, will you? douglasblog@gmail.com. Claire Lou, what did the email say? Maybe I can answer your question here. Or tell me your email address and I'll look it up. And it's still in my inbox. I don't delete anything. Art K. Cup says, nothing wrong with a good bike. You certainly get what you pay for in bikes world. Bought a bike. I hated it. It's been bad engineering and quality. Now I need a real bike. Well, get specialized. Any specialized bike is good. It's a good bargain for the money. You can even get for $400 you can get a good commuter bike. I don't know what joke you like. Probably the one about the woman. I'm eating bologna. Not quite sure what that means, Tyler Durden. William Johnson, I heard bad things about improving Doug. No. That's not true. Not bad at all. Yeah, well, I'm trying, Arcade Cup, I'm trying to put good quality videos to help people up there. Although my earnings are going down because in January, advertisers don't spend as much money on YouTube. Anyway, William Johnston, I heard bad things about imipramine. Not true. Look, here's the thing about antidepressants. All 27 of you are watching, as my gym teacher used to say, listen up, listen up. One man's meat is another man's poison in the world of antidepressants. Prozac helps some people, it puts other people to sleep, it makes other people agitated. Imipramine is the first medication ever used for depression. It was the gold standard for a while, but yet it has a lot of side effects. Some people don't like it. You can be sleepy, you can have constipation, you can have dry mouth, elevates blood pressure. That's why they don't use the tricyclics anymore. But there's nothing bad about that medication. My mother was on it. But if it doesn't work for you, try it for 4 to 6 weeks. If it doesn't work, drop it. Nothing lost, but it is not per se bad. It helps some people, it doesn't help others. Does that help, William Johnston? So if it doesn't work, try a different medication. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes no medication works, but you still have lifestyle habits, you have exercise, diet, social connection, support, purpose. Everything I write about in this book. By the way, if anybody owns this book, let me know. Some of you do. It's everything I know about depression. It took me 15 years to write. Healing from Depression, 12 Weeks to a Better Mood. Anyway, all this information is also free on my website, healingfromdepression.com. But yes, there are many things you can do to heal depression besides taking a pill. So if drugs don't work, don't despair. It means what it says, LOL, okay. You're eating bologna, or bologna, I guess is what it says. Well, I'm glad you're sharing your lunch. Very cool. Okay, what else have we got? Hi, Claire. I knew you would be inundated with email. I'll send it again. Thanks. Yeah, if you send it this afternoon, I will definitely look it up. By the way, I want to share with you guys Julie Hayes, who's not on today, sent this to me. I treasure it. Anybody who thinks they're never going to get better, from the ashes I ride, the phoenix bird. This is my symbol. This is my metaphor. This is my power animal, as they say in shamanism. I have risen from the ashes many times, and so have many of you. So remember, death is followed by rebirth, winter is followed by spring. You know, what goes down must come up. So if you're really in a bad time, please do not despair, because it has to get better, and it will get better. All right. I do. I don't know what you meant when you said I do, but anyway, yes. Well, anyway, if I get the email from you, Claire Lou, I'll answer it. So, the world is my family. We connect with other people besides our regular family. There's help and support out there. The effect of physical illness on mental illness: when you get sick, you're more likely to be depressed. So, try to stay well, eat well, get good sleep, get regular hours. Then I did another video called "What Happens When You Compare Yourself to Others." That's a major trap. So many people have written me about that video, that when you compare yourself with other people, especially if you're depressed, it's a losing proposition, because when you're depressed, you're disabled, you can't function like you used to. So of course you're going to feel like a loser if you look to other people and say, wow, how come I can't work 9 to 5? How come I can't hold a job? How come I'm not making, $100,000 a year? It's not a fair question, because they don't have what you have. They're not struggling with a mood disorder. They're not struggling with a depressive illness. It takes a lot more, as my therapist said, it takes a lot more energy for you to get out of bed than someone else to go to a job. So have compassion on yourselves, folks. All right. Another joke. Nope, that one's not going to work. Anna Scissors, hey, nice to see you again. Hello, everybody. I have a question. I feel like I'm in a standstill with my CBT therapist. I'm not moving anywhere. I've been suicidal for quite a while. I can't change. Well, Anna Scissors, why don't you tell your therapist that you're stuck and see what he can say. If not, have you ever heard of DBT, Dialectical Behavioral Therapy? You definitely should take a course. Let me know what country you're in, but you should definitely take a course in DBT. Let me put it out there. DBT. They give you other skills that CB doesn't give. But talk to your counselor if you don't think you're getting anywhere. If you've been suicidal, see if you can change your medication. If you're on a medication, I have a number of videos on suicide prevention. But remember what the Phoenix bird says, right? What goes down must come up. So don't despair, Anna Scissors. You will get better. But I would say talk to your therapist, talk to your prescriber, try to join a support group. And if you ever what country you're in, if you ever feel like you're going to harm yourself, call this number. It's toll free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's 273, it's actually 273-8255. Hold on. 273 8255. That's the National Hope Line. Call that number and you can talk to anybody if you're really feeling like you might harm yourself. Anna Scissors, CROT. You're in Croatia? Well, that number's not going to help you in Croatia, but there must be some crisis lines in Croatia, assuming that CROT means Croatia. Chicken nuggets now. Thank you, Tyler Durden. I don't think that, well, I'm partially vegan, so there you have my take on what your lunch is. But anyway, to each his own. Clara, I'm delighted to be communicating with you when going through saving my life. I had the first breakdown when I was 27. Yes, what she's referring to, everybody, is I keep hating to show all my stuff I've done, but anyway, she's referring to this book, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop. If anybody joins Patreon today, I will send them a free ebook. If you send me $10, if you sign up for $10 a month more, you get a signed hard copy sent to you in the mail no matter where you are in the world. But When Going Through Hell Don't Stop was a book I wrote after my depressive breakdown in 96, 97. It was all about how I fell into a suicidal depression after having an adverse reaction to a medication and how I was saved by the power of love. I think it's inspiring, wouldn't you say, Clara Lou? Anyway, yes, there is hope. There is always hope for recovery. I'm typing in bed. Sorry, don't worry about it. And the scissors? Yes. What time is it in Croatia right now? Probably about 9 or 10 p.m. Tyler Bird, don't be sorry about the fact you're eating chicken nuggets. It's, If you are going to eat chicken, however, I would eat sustainably raised chicken, because if you've ever seen a movie called Forks Over Knives, you know that chickens and hens are raised in large windowless boxes. It's really torturous compared to the way they live in the nature. So if you can afford it, you can raise organic chicken, raise in what's called cage-free. That would be the way to do it. And I guarantee you that McDonald's does not have cage-free chicken. 9:30, bravo. Well, of course, it's about 9 hours difference in Croatia. I know my time zones. Anyway, I don't go to bed till midnight, so for me they're young at 9:35. So did my answer help, Honest Scissors, about talking to your therapist, maybe getting a new one? Ask him if he knows about DBT. I have no idea if they have it in Croatia, but it's an amazing technology. And reach out. Greg Sandler, hello. I think his email is helloimgreg@gmail.com. Get a hold of him and be on the online support group that he started. That will help you and give you lots of support. Adrian Cardillo says, it's so hard not to self-medicate with alcohol for me, not all the time, but sometimes I need to feel something else besides sadness. If you need to drink alcohol once or twice a month, I guess that's fine. But if you do it once or twice a day, then you've got a problem. So many people take alcohol because of it helps their mood. I got to suck on a lozenge. Hold on. So Adrian, how often do you drink alcohol? I'd like to know. If it becomes a problem, there are AA groups and all sorts of treatment for it. So if you start to feel better, you won't need to drink alcohol as much. Dave Piquel says, Adrian, I'm the same, trying to stop. So both of you use alcohol to medicate your depression. Guess what? Join millions of people. It's a problem for many people. So what I can say is trade each other's email addresses. And go ahead and help each other, well, you can't really text from Croatia to America, or to Vancouver, BC, but exchange email addresses and see if you can support each other. That lozenge really helps my throat. Any other jokes? Why did the scarecrow become a neurosurgeon? Interesting. I didn't think scarecrows could do operations. Well, he was outstanding in his field. Let's try that. Let's do take two. Why did the scarecrow become a neurosurgeon? He was outstanding in his field. Okay? A much better pun. Anna Scissors, I'm unbelievably scared of changing the therapist, but I will talk to her about it next time. Love and appreciate it. I hope we can fix it. Oh, no. If you love and appreciate your therapist, Anna Scissors, you should not change your therapist. What I said is you should talk to her about the problem, and maybe you should if you can't get it resolved. But if you have a good relationship or connection to your therapist, no, that's something that's really hard to find. So talk about how you're feeling and what you guys can do to shift your energy. Dave Piquel says, dpiquel@talis.net. Adrian, email me. Did you see that? Yeah, Adrian Cardillo. Okay, yes. I got you confused with it. And it says, yes, Dave Piquel, yes. Adrian, do you see that email address? dpiquel@talis.net. Go ahead and email him. You guys can start emailing each other and talk about strategies you can do to support each other to refrain from drinking as much to medicate your depression. Wonderful idea. And Anna says definitely try to work it out with your therapist. If you found someone you like, then stick with her and see what you can do differently. Have you tried exercise, Adrian? Do you, not Anna Scissors, excuse me. Yeah, even walking around the block is a good idea, but intense, heavy exercise really helps to medicate the depression and helps the negative thinking. I like venison, but it's a bit dear. Oh my God. Another pun. They're coming left, right, and center here. Well, look how he started. I can sponsor alcoholics, if any. Wow, I didn't know you were an alcoholic sponsor. Arcade Cup. Well, go ahead and give your email address to Dave and to Anna Scissors. You can maybe help them over the internet. That's a good thing, although There's nothing better than getting your own in-person sponsor. They must have AA in Croatia, don't they, Anna Scissors? By the way, what's the mental health system like there? Do they have access to good psychologists and therapists and psychiatrists, medication, or is it sort of few and far between? I'd like to know. So, what's another good pun? Do we have any? Well, I have the Crosby's Book of Riddles. How many hours of sleep is optimum in your opinion? Says N to F. I'll tell you in a minute. What did the college professor scrawl in the essay? Thesis awful. My God. Yeah, I don't know about remote sponsors. So most people say that you should try to get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. Depends on the individual. I know one thing, that if you get less than 7 hours of sleep, it can affect your mood. It also can affect your weight. But you know, it's like anything, it's all individual. So one person might need 10 or 11 hours of sleep. One person might need only 8, but they say usually between 7 and 9. But you know, there are always exceptions to the rule. But if you're only getting 6 or 5 hours of sleep, I think that could be problematic. They have sleep doctors all over the United States and sleep studies. So if you're concerned about your sleep, you should probably hey, Lee McQueen and Kate, wow, can you tell a story of when going through hell don't stop, when you met the attractive person who was a professional? I loved your response to her when she asked your occupation. Yes, Kate wants me to tell a story which I talked about on my in my book and also on my video about comparison. So I was at a party, I met this woman, attractive, she just graduated from Harvard University. You know what Harvard is, right? Considered by many the best school in the United States. She just moved to Portland, got a job as a professor at another great college called Reed College, R-E-E-D. That's where Steve Jobs went before he dropped out. And after telling me about her exploits, she said, now, and what do you do? I kind of bowed my head. My father said, always tell the truth, Doug. So I said, well, I go to day treatment and I collect Social Security. She took one look at me and went out the door. Guess how that made me feel? As Mike Wallace would say, lower than a snake's belly. But then my therapist said the next day, hey, Doug, don't compare yourself to a Harvard professor. Compare it to what you're going through. She's got it easy. You're just trying to get out of bed and get to your day treatment. That's a lot tougher than what she's got to go through. So do not compare your insides to other people's outsides. All right, so that's the story. Lee McQueen, hey, Doug, a long time no see. It's been really tough lately. That's why I haven't been here, really struggling. Hope you're doing good. Doing well, but that's another... I tell my nephew, if he doesn't do good grammar, I send him to bed without dinner, like my mother did to me. I'm sorry you've been struggling, Lee. What's been going on? There are people, there is help. Another person from the UK. You guys really need to start a UK support group. Remember the Phoenix. I know you probably get tired of seeing this, but rising from the ashes, that's the key. So I'm sorry you're doing poorly, but what goes down must come up. Let me know what you're doing and how I can help. Classic. Thank you for the advice about the stance with the therapist. It means a lot. I'm starting exercising. I also type 1 diabetic. I have Hashimoto's. I'm very low energy. Is Hashimoto's syndrome something about the thyroid gland? I believe it is. Is it overactive or underactive thyroid? Let me know. But exercise it will help everything. Lee McQueen says, just heavy depression this time of year is always tough, eh? Yeah, of course it is. Do you have a light box? Can I actually get mine? Let me see. A quick commercial break while not commercial break. Let me get my light book. Hold on for a second. Okay, here we are. Whoa, that's light, isn't it? Look at that every day in the morning. Your depression will go away pretty quickly. So this is actually called a light book. You can get it online or at a local store. It's by a guy in Canada, an engineer who had a horrible seasonal affective disorder, winter depression, and he researched and found there was a certain wavelength of light that helped. He developed this, and you look at it 20 minutes in the morning before you get out of bed, stare at it, actually obliquely, not directly. Make sure it's 18 inches from your face. It resets your clock and helps winter depression. So Lee McQueen, try getting one of these or something like it. And there must be light boxes all over Ireland. I'm sure with the climate there, a lot of people in Ireland have SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Check it out. It's been scientifically proven to work. This is no like, new age, what's the word, woo-woo, therapy. This is actually real. And not that I have anything against New Age. My books are published under New Age imprints, and I am kind of that way myself. I reckon you got your book off the hook with that Harvard woman, Douglas. Yes, well, that's okay. Hey, I know people have gone to Harvard. My high school was more difficult than Harvard, let me tell you that. Tyler Durden says, I found out when I'm depressed, I always stay in the bed all day and dream of going on vacations like to Philadelphia. I love that place. Well, Tyler Durden, guess who lives in Philadelphia? Greg Sandler. Hello, I'm Greg at gmail.com. Go and get involved with his depression support group online. If you become friends, you can visit him in Philadelphia. Have a crash pad. Although I don't want to speak for Greg. Greg, cancel. But you can at least visit him and visit Greg in Philadelphia. Anna Scissors, underactive thyroid. That's what I thought. Autoimmune disease. Can you repeat your question about the psychiatrist system in Croatia? Did you even ask me? No, I did ask you. What I said is, what is the statement of mental health treatment in Croatia? Are there Christian psychologists or therapists or psychiatrists? In Nigeria, in Africa, there's only 600 psychiatrists in the entire country for 60 million people. That's absurd. We have, we have 200 right here in Portland, Oregon. So Nigeria is underserved in terms of mental health, and many other countries, I'm sure, also. So what about Croatia? Do you have treatment programs, hospitals, psychiatrists, psychologists, groups, everything we have here in America, which is so helpful. Will do. I've joined the gym too. It's helping me a lot. Thanks. Of course, exercise helps everybody. What do you think? I didn't just make this up. So was that helpful, showing you the light box, everybody, the light book? I hope so. It just sucks that traveling costs so much money. Well, that's true. Of course, you can't hitchhike now like I did. Much more difficult. But where do you live, Tyler? If you want to go to Philadelphia, take an Amtrak or take a Greyhound bus. That's really cheap. I really need to save my money. Well, that's true. A penny saved is a penny earned, said Benjamin Franklin. Anyway, Lee, I'm glad you're exercising. It grows brain cells. Neurogenesis. They used to think when I was going to grad school or going to undergrad school that the brain only had a finite amount of cells and that was it. They died, and you got stupider as you got older. But now there's something called neurogenesis. The brain can grow new cells, so you don't have to get dumber as you get older. Matter of fact, I know a 101-year woman who's as sharp as any of you here, maybe sharper. She's amazing how well her brain works at 101. So don't tell you that you have to have cognitive decline. That is not true. People who take care of themselves and have good genes can have highly functioning minds until very late in life. I live across the state, Pittsburgh. Well, come on, Tyler, you can get in your car and get some gas and drive to Philadelphia. My God, I thought you lived in something like, something in Tennessee or, somewhere in like Arizona. No, you should visit Greg, email him. You guys could get and chat together. It seems you might even become, recovery partners, which I recommend in my book, Healing from Depression. By the way, my website, free information, Healing from Depression.com. Check out my website if you can. 26 people, 49 minutes into the hour, 11 minutes left. It's still 6 hours. Well, hey, I drove 27 hours from Portland to San Diego once to visit a friend. All right. What type of jokes do we have here? Oh, the doctor gave a patient 6 months to live. The patient couldn't pay his bill, so the doctor gave him another 6 months. I think it's a great doctor joke. Hey, a doctor sees his patient and says, I have bad news and worse news. The patient says, what's the bad news? Well, the doctor says you have only 1 day to live. And the patient says, what's the worst news? I've been trying to get a hold of you for 24 hours. Doctor jokes are funny. We need some lawyer jokes. Do you know why Santa Claus was just diagnosed with a bipolar disorder? Well, he told his psychiatrist, well, I love the North Pole, but then again, I love the South Pole. Can't make up my mind. Bipolar disorder. Okay, what did the neurosurgeon say to his patient before he operated? This is going to be a no-brainer. All right, enough is enough. 1JE24, I like your puns. Can you send me one more? That would be helpful. Hey Doug, I like the light book. I'll look into it. Haha. Get it? I got it. Lee, very funny. But if you do look into it, you'll feel less depressed. So I hope you get it or something like it. Anna says we have state healthcare psychiatrists. Wow, like in any other countries in Europe, that's it. But are overloaded with patients. You don't get proper therapy with them. But in specialized, I'm not quite sure about psychiatrists, hospitals, doctors have more time and better approach. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by specialized. Are you said that when you go privately, in private hospitals, you have more time and better approach compared to the public healthcare system, the state healthcare system? That's true in the UK, right? UK people tell me, don't you have to wait months to get a therapist in the UK health system? You get it for free, but you have to wait longer, and it's often overcrowded because of the huge demand. They're training people in the UK and Great Britain now to go out and give people free therapy right on the street to help decrease mental illness and suicide prevention. I read about that in the New York Times. Very, very cool. Low-cost therapy. Everybody should be able to get free therapy. Should be a right because every human being suffers in some way. Mental and emotional suffering are huge all over the world, especially in developed countries. So we need to have better access to lower-cost healthcare. A lot of therapists in Portland cost $100 to $120 an hour. Who can afford that unless you have insurance, right? Psychiatrists are $250 an hour, $300 an hour. That's absurd. I'm sorry. No one deserves that much money, especially since the art of prescribing drugs is really hit and miss. It's not a science. It's really, as my one psychiatrist told me, you're all a bunch of guinea pigs. We never know what's going to happen until you get the drug. Well, one more mention of my Patreon account. Again, if you join, free copy of the book When Going Through Hell Don't Stop, a book that has been called A Lifeline to Healing. There's a really nice guy Robert Teague, who was here a couple of months ago, who said that he was really helped by my work, and I'm worried about him because he had been significantly depressed. I haven't seen him in a while. Probably none of you know him, but oh well. I hope he's doing well. Free therapy should be a right. I agree so much, says Dave Pickell. Yeah, well, just like free healthcare. Biddy by Zara. Hey, Doug, I like your live chats. Unfortunately, I've just signed in YouTube. I only have a couple of minutes to hear from you. Well, it's every Sunday and every Wednesday at 12 at Pacific time, right? So I will go ahead and type that in. I should have a sign. Wednesday, NESDAY, and Sundays at 12 noon. That's when you can catch them. When I say specialized psychiatric hospitals, I mean they are state hospitals specialized in psychiatric care. Loony bins. And then we also have quite a bit of private practices, which are all very... I'm very impressed. I thought Croatia was not a developed country. The fact you've got that much there is pretty cool. Really. Very nice to hear that. And state hospitals, we don't have psychiatric hospitals in America. We have mostly regular hospitals that have psychiatric units, which are really, really, really insufficient. We have one psychiatric hospital here in Portland called Unity Behavioral Health. But again, it takes sometimes days to get in. But the fact you have hospitals in Croatia that specialize in psychiatric care, touche, thumbs up for Croatia. Expensive for how much the average pay is. Yeah, well, what is it? Hello, I'm Greg. You finally made it. I've been going ahead and promoting your online support groups. I've been telling people your address is helloimgreg@gmail.com by memory. Is that correct? Maybe you should type it out. There's a number of people here. I think I think either Dave Pickell or somebody else told me they were in your group and getting a lot out of it. So we only have 4.5 minutes, but you should. You got to work in an hour. Well, oh well. Yes, I'm right. Hello, I'm Greg at G. But they don't know that Greg is G-R-E-G-G. Dave Pickell is saying hello. Dave, are you the person on his online support group? So if so, it's great that you're connecting. All right, 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Anybody else have any questions? I'd love to hear them. There you have it. There's Greg's email address. Sorry about the coughing, but, and where is my, here it is right here, my water. So, I'm going to conclude by telling you my 3 steps of mental health recovery. 1, set the intention to heal. Make a decision to get well even if you don't know how. The desire to get well is the #1 predictor of getting well. 2, reach out for support to other people and to spirit. We cannot heal in isolation. Those of you who are in bed all day, do anything you can to get out, even make a phone call, even go and join Greg's support group, online support group. We have to heal together in community. 3, treat your symptoms with a combination of mutually supportive therapies. Don't rely just on pills or antidepressants. There's so many things you can do. Please share this channel, Frank Jenkins. Please like and share this channel. Well, thank you, Frank. I haven't even seen you before. I intend to get well. Amazon Flex pays way better. I don't know what Amazon Flex is, but thank you for letting us know about that. Is that someone you go work for? You will get well, Dave Pickell. If you intend it, you will, as long as you also reach out for support and do many things. You should still come down to Portland and sit in on one of my depression support groups. You'll be inspired. Frank Jenkins, hello. I haven't seen you before in the live chat. Have you been on this channel? How do you share a channel anyway, Frank Jenkins? Tell me. Do you just send people the link? That would be great. Why don't you write me and tell me how one can share this channel. I will definitely let other people know if they want to. douglasblog@gmail.com. And the other thing is, there was a lady, I forgot her name already, somebody, Claire Lou or something like that, who sent me an email that I didn't reply to. Send it again. I think this is the gal who's having problems with her therapist, or with CBT and her therapist. Just found you last month. Well, go ahead and please let me know how to share the channel. You also can join Patreon, or you can even leave a small donation on Super Chat before you leave. But I'm glad it's helpful, and I'm glad you're watching the videos. Tyler Durden's an independent contractor. You can work whenever you feel like it. All I need is a car and a phone. $18 to $25 per hour, and sometimes more. Well, Tyler Durden, can you tell other people how to do that? A lot of people would love to work independently for $18 to $25 an hour. That's amazing. Most people work full-time, they only get $12 to $15 an hour if they're unskilled. So how does that work? Beauty by Zara, nice to see you again. Can we get off the depression medication with SSRI antidepressants? I want to quit, not be dependent, but I have to take it to keep myself sane. Well, if you have to take the antidepressant to keep yourself sane, then it is essentially a trade-off. You can be free of antidepressants and feel independent, but then feel super depressed, or you can stay on them and feel like, well, I wish I weren't dependent upon this, but at least you're sane. You know, that's a compromise sometimes people have to make. You know, you can't have everything. You can't have your cake and eat it. So, Beauty by Zara, if the antidepressants are helping you, I would stay on them. If you do want to get off them, talk to your doctor and titrate down very slowly. See what happens. If you're on 100 milligrams of Zoloft, go to 87.5, then 75. You know, try it and see what happens, but do it under the supervision of a doctor. Do not do it on your own. As they say, anybody who's his own physician has a fool for a doctor. 18 seconds left. Dixie, no, wow, Dale, you're just here. Like in the last minute, I have anxiety and I have overcome some of Les's, but most recently are headaches, like pulsing, for example, in between 2 thoughts. There's one headache. Don't know what could be causing the headaches. It may have nothing to do with anxiety. I would go to a specialist and see what they think. Get some test runs. It might just be stress. You might not be hydrated enough. There's a lot that it can be. Go consult with somebody. By the way, nice to see you on the channel. Anna Scissors, Tyler Durden. I'm so bad with money. Also have a huge desire to travel. So essentially you guys have something in common, don't you? When I travel, I'm in a good mood. Well, traveling is very cool. Search Amazon Flex on Google, sign up. They will do a background check, and that's it. Wow, I will definitely tell people in my group about that. And what do you do for Amazon Flex? I'm terrible with money as well. Well, you know, I do have a whole, maybe I should do a video on how to be better with money, because a lot of people with depression have money problems. I did have a really popular video called Depression, Anxiety, and Money Problems. You should look it up, about how many people with depression, because they're disabled, they can't work. When they can't work, you know, they can't get treatment. That makes them more depressed, so they can't work. It's a vicious cycle. Finances can be a very difficult thing for people with mood disorders. I did a video on it. I should probably do another video called How You Can Get Rich in 30 Days or Less. Well, thanks again. Yes, thanks, David Kell. Thank you very much. You deliver packages. That seems pretty easy. Better than Uber. I'm going to pick up a pack of Search today. LOL. Yes, that's very cute. Great stream, Doe. I wish you would call me Doug or Douglas. But anyway, it's now 1:01:30. I'm doing a coaching session. The rain has stopped. Maybe I'll go on a bike ride. I'm so glad all of you are watching. Tune in on Wednesday, which is what day? I have no idea. I've lost count. The 24th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Watch my video tomorrow on a new video called The World Is My Family. And I am going to do an update on Bruce. Where is my cell phone? Well, here it is here. I got to show you Bruce's... Hold on for a second before we sign off. I got to show you a picture of Bruce, if I can get it. Okay. There he is. Oops. How did that happen? Let's try it again. Can you guys see him? With the reflection, there's Bruce the cat, who's just getting over a bad abscess. Anyway, we'll have a we'll have a live chat, not a live chat. We'll have a video on Bruce pretty soon. Oh, Homer Simpson, Doe. Okay, thank you very much, Tyler Durden. Thank you for explaining where Doe comes from. I'm planning to binge watch your entire channel. I hope I will start realizing that plan. Well, Anastasia, send me an email at douglasblog@gmail.com, and I'll send you the first chapter of my book, Healing from Depression, which tells you how to write a vision statement of wellness. All right. Enjoy your spin on the bike. Thank you, and thanks for joining Patreon. Appreciate it. One day I'm going to go to visit Ireland and check in with you folks. And by the way, why is Ireland a prosperous country? You didn't know that Ireland was very prosperous. Do you know why, Edna? Because its capital is always Dublin. I can't believe I said that. Get it? Capital, money is always doubling, but it's a pun on Dublin. Why am I explaining this? Okay, I'll say it one more time. Why is Ireland a wealthy country? Because its capital is always Dublin. All right, that's enough right now. See you guys on Wednesday, and take care. And I wish you the best in your mental health recovery, wherever you are. Remember, there is hope. What goes down must come up. This too shall pass. The most powerful 4 words you could ever tell yourself when you're desperate. Anna Scissors, I'm glad you appreciate that pun. This too shall pass, and you will be out of your pain. You will be restored. Like the phoenix, you shall rise from the ashes. After I leave, you guys can still chat with each other for 4 to 5 minutes. And again, hello, I'm Greg at gmail.com, G-R-E-G-G. Email him if you want to get in his support group, chat group, internet support group. It's really worth it to connect with other people and to feel better. All right. I appreciate you too, Adrian Cordillo. I love your name. Bye-bye.